Test 2 and 5, days 1 and 2. You start off the test and immediately head up the hill. It gets progressively rockier and rockier as you get further and further up the hill. At the top of the hill, it turns into one flat rock shelf with a little bit of a fall away to this side, so I'm going to stay to the outside to prevent from sliding into it. Then you come out of the woods through a gate. You can see to the left where you've had, they've been quarrying rock, and there's rock scattered all along that access road they've used to get to the quarry. It's a bit gravelly. You'll come down it to the right, to the left, to the right again. Then you go into the woods, run along the wood line. You have a hard right down the hill. I'm going to take the inside line, but the inside line is much steeper, so you'll have to remember to keep your weight far back. You'll dip into that valley and then immediately start up the hill on the other side. It's much more gradual. Not terribly long. You'll have a right-hander that's an off-camber going back into the woods. Hang a left, run along a bit of a straightaway through the woods, nothing terribly interesting. Then you have a hard left turn up a second hill. It's got a big erosion rut down the center. I'm going to stay to the right of the erosion rut, then cross over so I can carry my momentum a little better, and then once again cross over from the left side back to the right side of the rut. All the way up the hill, get to the top of the hill, 180, almost immediately back down the hill. You've got a few gentle sweeping corners. I believe it's the second left. You'll drop off a little bit of rocks. I'm going to kind of jump over it, and you'll see two painted rocks with a rut. They're a good warning for the second erosion rut that's coming up. It's not terribly large, but it can catch you off guard if you're not expecting it. So be prepared for that erosion rut. You have another left, another right. You kind of break out into a bit of an open clearing again, and that straightaway following that right has a big puddle in the middle of it. It's kind of soggy, probably going to get deep. Then you turn left, go down the hill a little bit more, and have a very hard right onto a gravel road. You're going to have to watch that because it's going to be loose for your front and rear end both. You follow the gravel road around the guy's wood pile, and then you'll have a hard right up into the woods again. After that, you hang a right turn, and then there is what I'm calling the log jam, after what they used to call the endurocross obstacles. It's a bit of an odd one. It may be faster to go around, but on principle, there's logs. I must go over them. Then we have a hard left with 4 or 5 little logs. They have failed to fasten down in any meaningful way. I don't expect to see them ever again. Then little log double. And after that, you get into the cross part of this test. Like, that's all the enduro they gave us out of this one. So you'll run down along, there's a little ditch with water running in it. You'll run down along that, 180 left, back along the ditch, bends a little bit like in a 45, almost, well, not a 45, whatever that angle would be. I was never great at math. 180. 180. And now you're turning and you're running along the same gravel road we were on, but you're to the side of it. Big, long straightaway, huge. You're probably going to get going as fast as your bike can go. Then you have a little right-left jog as you cross the road. Left-hand corner after that. Right, continue all the way to the furthest end of the test. At that point, you have another 180. It seems like the Italians are really fond of the long straightaway 180 at this particular race. Turn, come back, another 180. Turn, then you've got a 90 along where the hog barn is. There's 2 tractor ruts halfway down that next straightaway. I don't know if they'll be a big deal or not, but I definitely want to know they're there. 180 this way. And then you'll turn, come back along that straightaway. Then you've got an S turn. And then you'll come up, there's a bit of a bank kind of along where the road is. So you cross the road, come up onto that bank. 180 down by the cornfield. Come back, and then you run the matching straightaway to that earlier long straightaway we had. It's a little bit shorter, but still quite long, gonna get going very fast. And then you've got a really weird corner. It's difficult to describe, but it's got like a point here and a point here. So rather than setting up for this corner, I'm gonna come wide and try and set up for the corner following it. So I'm probably gonna come fairly tight to that inside pole, drift out as much as I can here so I can hook in that way. So after the weird corner, you make another right-hander, follow the straightaway again. Then it's a right, .180, .180, and then you're out of the plowed field. So that whole section was like a plowed soybean field, I think, which is nice because we're going to get some sick ruts in there, I bet. But then you get off of that surface and onto regular grass again. Once you're on the grass, once I'm on the grass, I'm gonna make sure I stay to the left as far as I can because there's a fairly short but steep embankment off the grass down to a lower field. And if you line it up correctly, you can just hit it wide open and launch as far as you can. But if you come in too far to the right, you're gonna jump into the banner and have to slow down awkwardly. Just gonna make sure I swing it wide, just hit that wide open as hard as I can, flat land, and then you follow this long straightaway, several like little gentle left, right, lefts. It follows the wood line though. Very easy to see what's coming up because you can see the ribbon and also the woods where it comes in, so you can predict your corners. So I didn't spend a whole lot of time memorizing every little thing there. But eventually you'll come to the far edge of the forest here. You'll make a bit of a 90 left, follow the wood line again. And then you come back by the cornfield and there's a drop off into it, not a big drop off, but a bit of a big one on the left side, gentler on the right with a tree in the middle. I'm gonna hang to the right, jump down into the water, and then come up that embankment. I suspect the fast guys are probably gonna hit the steeper side and jump the whole thing, but I ain't got the balls for that. That embankment's pretty muddy. It could get nasty, but the promoters have helpfully included if you turn right in the river, there's another gentler access line this way. I don't think it'll be an issue, but I don't know if it's been pouring down rain, maybe it will. So you'll hang a right immediately after the creek crossing. A left. And then you have an off-camber uphill turn that turns into flat. Run along just this narrow path, hard left, exit the test. And that's the test.